Ready?
Harry's PC World sponsors the Gadget Show, the home of new technology.
Though Steve Jobs famously declared that 7-inch tablets were dead on arrival, or in other words, useless, the 7.9-inch screened iPad mini has been a huge success for the company, and it's arguably the best iPad you can buy. It's much lighter than a full-sized iPad at just 309 grams, which I find makes it much easier to hold one-handed and makes you much more inclined to use it. And the aluminium back and rounded corners make it a delight to hold. The narrow side bezels make the most of the device's size and also help keep the design looking crisp. The A5 processor still feels brisk, and the efficiency of iOS 7 means you get by splendidly on just 512 megabytes of RAM. The front and rear 1.2 and 5 megapixel cameras are pretty good quality for a tablet. Battery life is comfortably over 10 hours, and the audio quality is scintillating as well. And there are the usual iPad pluses. The screen has an aspect ratio of 4:3, which I find actually better for most browsing and reading tasks than the media-friendly 16:9 of most Android rivals. And iOS still just has the best selection of apps. One area, for example, I think there's a much better selection of magazine apps designed specifically for tablet use with iOS, with extra interactive video and audio content. Though while you're browsing your magazine collection, you will notice the Mini's slight drawback: its display. The in-plane switching and colours are great, but the resolution isn't. It's just 1024 by 768 pixels, which means 163 pixels per inch compared to the 262 of the iPad Retina or the 323 of this year's Nexus 7. For the past year, I'd have had little hesitation in recommending that you buy an iPad mini, but in a bizarre piece of timing, I find we're recording this the day before Apple are expected to launch an improved version. As ever, we won't know for certain until we've actually seen the launch, but it's expected that it'll have a higher resolution display and a more powerful processor. That'll certainly help me when I'm reading my magazines. It'll also make the iPad more ready for Apple's future software updates. The old iPad mini won't be useless overnight, but the new one should be top of your list.